What's going on, folks? Your boy again, Dr. Thomas, back in the building with the Be More Today show. We are back. We are back. We are back in the building. And folks, we are still here in the summertime. Summertime. It's been hot, but it's been great and it's been amazing. Connecting with so many people who are doing great things in this world. As you already know, Be More Today is a movement. We're on season 5 of the show. Our Steps of Greatness Challenge continues as we are in our summer season. 53 people who are going out there and getting their 10,000 steps in every single day. It's been great watching the journey of so many people just putting their health first and making decisions to be better versions of themselves every single day. So I salute all of them as I salute you. If you want to join our next challenge, which will be in the fall, check out BeMoreToday.com for all things related to our more merch, our swag store, our running challenge, our Steps of Greatness challenge, and of course the show, which is now in our 5th season. 82 countries, 63,000 downloads. It's been, again, thanks to your love and support, this show continues to move and inspire others to be great. So follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Be More Today, PT, Be More Today Show, and your boy right here, Dr. Sean Thomas, on all major platforms. Our sponsors have been so great to us as well. Spy Belt, as you already know, has been a big sponsor for us. And if you've ever been out and about with nowhere to stash your keys and ID, you can be hands-free. Yes, whether you're running errands, traveling, or hitting the trail, Spy Belt is the belt that goes where you go. Made with stretchable fabric and a low-profile design, Spy Belt is your perfect companion to keep your essentials secure without bouncing or chafing. Choose from several prints and colors in the original, a wider band in the pro versions, and the newest Spy Belt, which is called Whiteout, an all-white belt that is perfect for summer. If you want more information, visit spybelt.com to get your Spy Belt today. Run smart, run free, run with Spy Belt. And I love Spy Belt. It's been my go-to choice for all runs, and I will continue to do so. And of course, our other sponsor, Jag PT. As you already know, if you have aches and pains, Jag PT is the place to go. Our experienced clinicians create a personalized treatment plan that fits each and every patient's unique needs. Whether it's recovering from an injury or enhancing your performance, we've got you covered. With over 140 locations throughout the tri-state area, New York, Jersey, and Pennsylvania, there is sure to be a JAG PT in your location. For more information, visit jagpt.com. That's jagpt.com. And I and others will help you get back to the life that you love. Our quote for today, folks, is simple as always. It's by David Bly. Striving for success without hard work is like trying to harvest where you have not planted. Come on.
Mercy,
Listen, if you
mercy.
are striving for success without putting any work in, you will produce nothing. It's very, very clear. We talked about it every single day on the show in various ways, right? You cannot expect results without putting in the work. And putting in the work means things for different people. It can just be showing up. It can mean going the extra mile. It can be getting over obstacles, negating excuses, whatever it's going to be. You have to put in some work to be successful. And I thought to myself, who can I have on this week's show that's someone who has been unstoppable in what they wanted to do? They put all of their excuses to the side and decided to be healthy in a variety of ways, not just when it comes to physical health, but also spiritual health, mental health, and just doing things every single day to put themselves in a better position to strive and be great, planting seeds in various ways to reap a harvest. And my guest on today's show is a good friend of mine, a long-standing friend of mine, runners in our running club, one of the original Spartans, and my girl, Pam Edward. Now, we call her AKA Unstoppable Pam because she is unstoppable for a variety of reasons. Not only is she an 8-time marathon finisher, she is a multiple Spartan race finisher. She's run in our running club, Spartan Sunday Running Club, the MVP award for a number of years. So many times we had to stop giving her the award because we were like, you already know you're great. That's the point. She's kind of LeBron
What?
James of our running club because she's always showing up and
Yeah.
always showing out. She served in her local church as well, and she ran the Tokyo Marathon last year and will be going again this year along with me. I'm announcing now we'll be going to Tokyo Marathon in 2025,
Yeah.
courtesy of ADRA, our fundraiser. So, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pets included, please welcome to the stage my girl and our guest for the
It's
show today,
included.
Pam, Edward.
Yeah,
Pam, what is going on?
pets included. Nothing's going on. Hey, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Sean, for doing this. You know how nervous I am about it, but let's get it done.
Listen, all nerves aside, you've been great. You've been stellar, and you've really been unstoppable since day one. I mean, our running club slash our Spartan Sunday group has been in existence for now almost 13 years, and the movements that we've been doing together for that period of time has been great. You've been in the Spartan races with us. You've been on the road races with us. You've been a trailblazer.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
just talking about you, looking at your bio, I know you're from St. Lucia, right? Born and raised.
Yes.
Big up to St. Lucia and all the St. Lucians out
Yes,
there.
sir.
But I also
Yeah.
know that, when it comes to this running thing, you were a late bloomer. So I'm curious, Pam, you could share with the audience, how did you get into this
Mm.
running slash fitness thing in the first place?
Running. I got into running because I was unhealthy, cholesterol wise. My cholesterol was always extra high, overly high. And I didn't want to go on the drugs that they offered. No matter what I did, it was not going down. And I hate gyms. And so I started to go out on walks. Walks. The first day, it was okay. The second day, it's kind of boring. You're just walking. And so I decided maybe I should try to run because I've never run before. Maybe I should try to run. And I started from one pole to the other and walk the other pole, run another pole, walk another pole. That too became boring. I did two poles and three poles. And after week one, I was like, this is it. I cannot. So then I started running a full loop of the path that I was walking, running in. And that's how the running started for me. It was just I needed a way to get my cholesterol down and not be sorry, inside of a building. Because
Mm,
being inside of a building just kills my spirit. Outside is it for me.
yeah. So you're saying you basically got into it because you saw that there was a health situation you wanted to take care of, and
Mm-hmm.
that was your why, that was your inspiration.
That
Um,
was my why.
yeah, and I
Yep.
think a lot of people, especially coming out of COVID-19, I know you started doing that before COVID, but a lot of people use fitness, running, or any kind of exercise as that thing, right? They weren't into it at all, but there was
Mm-hmm.
something that happened in their life, something that changed, something that sparked a match or a fire in them to say, you know what, I have to get out here and do something. And you're like me, I love being outside. I love being in nature. Um, the gyms are okay, right? But there's nothing more
Mm-hmm.
special than just being out in the community in the fresh air and being able to move your body in that regard. So you've now earned this maybe self-title, but it's been something that we've just latched onto, Unstoppable Pam. So where did now this phrase or this title, Unstoppable Pam, come from as you continue to now do this fitness thing on a regular basis?
So I have a friend, and she calls me Rock Solid. She named me Rock Solid. Reason behind that, according to her, is when I make up my mind not to do something, nobody can change it.
Mm,
This is me. If I'm like, this is not for me, even if it's okay for the group, because we were friends, a group of four of us. And if I say I'm not doing it, no matter what, I would not do it. So I'm
right.
like, okay, when Ish came up with this idea when we were doing the marathon, I said, okay, we need to come up with a name so we can put it on our shirt. I'm like, solid sounds kind of, let me use the counter one, unstoppable. And so that's how Unstoppable came about. Rock Solid did not do it for me, but Unstoppable is doing it for me.
Okay. And you've been unstoppable, ever since then, from doing these Spartan
Mm-hmm.
races to these marathons, now an 8-time marathon finisher. And
Mm-hmm.
I've heard you say many times that you're also a medal chaser. Now, some people
Yes,
run races because they want to
yes.
get in shape. There's sometimes some people run it because
Hmm.
they want a medal. But for you, I've heard you say if there's no medal, you might not even do the race, right? So what is it about the medals or getting this gift or this prize at the end of these things that's so
Oh
important, so special to you?
man. So, growing up and even into my adult age, um, I've never done any sport whatsoever. I mean, I've gone to support people doing sports, like cricket, football, and stuff like that. And I see people getting the trophies at the end, right? But then I was unable to, well, I was not interested in doing anything like that. And so when I got into running, my first medal was at the women's marathon. So when that thing went around my neck, I cannot express how great it felt. This was the most beautiful thing that had ever happened to me. And I was done. Like,
Mm.
this is it for me. Medals is the thing. I run for the medals. I walk with my medals for weeks after I get them. I love it. I mean, it was just something. I felt like I accomplished something great.
Yeah,
It's like nobody can do it for me, only me. I can
yeah,
only do it for myself. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I'm one who, I ran all through, who knows, high school, college, whatever else. So I got a lot of medals, and growing up. And I can remember
Mm.
the first time I actually won a race and the medal that I
Hmm.
got at that time. And yes, that feeling, at the age of, 10, 11, 12, whatever,
Right.
was super invigorating. And I remember it to this day still. So I can just imagine, for
Hmm.
you, when you got that first medal, having never really done these things growing up,
Hmm.
how special it was. And
Oh,
clearly
yes, it
that
was.
specialty or that feeling, you've carried that into every race you've done now.
Yes, sir.
Now rumors are out there that you're nearing almost 100 medals, which is insane, right? But
Hmm.
but for me, that just lets me know that you've been really dedicated to this craft, and the name Unstoppable is something that really belongs with you. That's who you are. You are unstoppable in so many ways to go out there and
Mm.
do these races. So I salute you for that. And
Thank you. Thank
it's
you.
been a pleasure having you a part of our Spartan Sunday Run Club and as part of the Spartan Sunday um, group. Our initial club doing Spartan races and now doing road races. And you stuck with
Hmm.
us from beginning and even brought some friends into our crew along the way. I was curious if you wanted to share what's it been like working with Spartan Sundays Running Club and 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 why did you choose to stay with us? Because again, we're friends, we've known each other for a long time, but there's so many run
Mm.
clubs that are in New York, right? There's so many different clubs that are in New York City that
Hmm.
anyone can choose from. Why did you choose to stick with and continue to be with Spartan Sunday Run Club?
I chose Spartan Sundays because it originated from the church that I attend, Queensborough Temple. And since the club was there, I saw no need to go outside to look for another club. I wasn't interested in going out anyway to look for a club. And since you were there also, I use Spartan Sundays, although I don't like the gym, but since the workouts were being done, I felt like I should just be part of it, to take the advantage of the exercises that were being offered for free, of course. And yeah, it's and I enjoy Spartan Sundays. You guys are my family. I mean, I'm here alone. My family is back home in St. Lucia, and outside of church, right? Outside of church, Spartan Sundays is my family. I get to know everybody on a different level. Everybody gets to know me on a different level. It's a deeper relationship. Your family. Spartan
Yeah.
Sundays is
Yeah, that's cool. And I agree with that. It's really been a pleasure for us to take our beginnings in a church setting like Kingsborough Temple, shout out to KBT, and really start to branch out as we have been for the last couple of years now into the community, right? We have an inner community with church, and outside of that, this
family.
outer community that sometimes we don't get a chance to really tap into as much. But now with this running club attached to so many other running clubs in the community with road
Mm-hmm.
runners, and we've been so many places. We're talking about Berlin and Chicago and Puerto Rico, and we've been
Yes.
just out there just doing so many things, connecting with other people who are doing the same thing. And I agree with you. Being indoors is one thing, but being outside connecting with others is totally different. You get a chance to really know people, once you're out of the four walls and once you're doing things during the
Yes.
week, whether it's races or just like you said, working out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and in a time where there's so many different run clubs doing so many things, the word culture comes up a lot. And one of the things that we talk about on the show, we've been highlighting run clubs and the culture of each run club, because every club has a culture, right? The people that are in the
Mm-hmm.
club, the people who are around the club, where the club goes to, what days they actually work out, practice in. And our club is special because we do have our origins in the church, but a lot of our members are church members, or they're members of a church or a Christian group or somewhat. So
Mm-hmm.
what's been your perception and your experience with the culture of Spartan Sunday Run Club, um, and your experience in terms of either bringing friends in, which you have done, and
Mm-hmm.
of course connecting with other groups, which you've been doing in the past couple of weeks.
Uh, let's say our culture. I enjoy our culture because well, we say this thing a lot, no Spartan left behind, right? And so we're all inclusive. There's never somebody who always felt like made to feel like an outsider. We embrace everybody, be it a walker, a runner, a jogger, a crawler, whatever you may be. Um, we accept you and we embrace you and we encourage you to meet your goals, right? Whatever your target is, there is always somebody there who has a similar goal and who will encourage you to to expand on what it is that you want to do. The community that I recently joined is Crown Heights Running Club. And I did that because they had one member who joined us on our runs. And I felt like it was just fair to return the favor. And now I'm enjoying them,
Mm,
because it's like run and walk, but at the same time, you talk, you communicate. It's not like you just run just for running sake to get to the finish. You converse with somebody.
yeah.
And in that way you get to know people. And I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to meet up with other people in the community, to engage in things that we have in common. And that way we could forge ahead, but not alone. You bring somebody along, it's each one bring one, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I like it. I wish we would do it more, or more clubs would do it. Because I think also it goes back to the theme, no Spartan left behind. So no runner, no walker left behind, that kind of a thing. And we would have a wider community of people like that, or clubs like that.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. I love our theme too, No Front and Left Behind. It's kind of a theme that we walked into. We've had a number of themes every single year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You versus you and More Than
Mm-hmm.
Conquerors. And, a lot of these are biblical themes that we apply to our lives. But this No Spartan Left Behind theme is something that literally we just embodied. And it came about as we were doing our Spartan races, as we talked about in the
Yeah.
show before, these
Uh-huh.
crazy 5K, 10K, half marathon races in the woods, under barbed wire,
Mm-hmm.
climbing ropes, in the mud, nasty. We actually did one this year. And you can probably
Mm-hmm.
attest to that, going back to our roots was amazing. Just seeing
It
the
was.
camaraderie,
I
right?
missed the mud.
You miss the mud, right? You miss being out
That's
there.
my most favorite
Yeah.
thing, the mud.
Yeah, yeah, but
Oh
it's something
man.
about being out there and in the wilderness, in that environment, and knowing that all you have are the people around you, and your
Mm-hmm.
whole job, everyone's job is basically get from the start line to the finish by any means necessary, and people are helping people up. You're helping somebody
Mm-hmm.
carry something, you're helping somebody get over something, and yeah, that theme is true. No Spartan left behind, because at
Left
the end of the
behind.
day, like you said, our goal is to get to the end of that finish line and for everyone to win. And I
Mm-hmm.
think for me, that's the beauty of our club. And I think that's what you embody. I mean, Pam, you're one of the ones who literally you'll send a text message to my wife or whoever else. encouraging them to come to a run, come to this, come to that. Or, I'll go on Strava and see you ran 20 miles on a Tuesday. I'm like, oh my God, I have to go out there and do 20 miles. So Pam went out there and did 20 miles
I
on
know.
today. Right. But that's
Crazy.
the thing, because you go out there and you do that, you're inspiring other people now to go out there, and in so doing, no one's left behind, because you're setting a
Right.
trail and someone's following them. So everyone's moving forward, maybe not as fast or maybe slower, but they're all moving forward towards that goal.
Right.
And that's why I think that theme is so poignant, No Spartan Left Behind, because we really do embody that. We really do embody that. So I salute you for that, Pam. And one of the things that you've
Yeah.
been a trailblazer in is you've had many firsts, but last year you were the first person and the only person from our crew to get into the Tokyo Marathon. Now, I haven't had a chance to really talk to you, but I wanted to talk to you about this now, because now that we're all going to Tokyo, or a number of us are going to Tokyo next year, 2025, courtesy of the ADRA charity that we got into. We're super excited for that. Shout out to ADRA for getting us in and allowing us to be a part of that. But what should we expect, Pam? What was the experience like? How did you feel being out there? I remember talking to you, and you were nervous at first about being the only one, right? To get from our group to go. You got in through the lottery. You were the only one to go out there, and you represented us so well. But what were your thoughts? What was the experience like? What should we expect? Give us the rundown on what to look for Tokyo 2025.
See, I represented you well. Oh, I was nervous leading up to the trip itself, going to Tokyo itself. But once I got there, I was okay, because I made friends with another club, Lindstrom Fast. Thank God for them. They were there for me, right? And leading up to the race, I was good. Race day, I was feeling great. Approaching mile 9. Tokyo broke me now. Um, the cramps. I've never had experienced cramps before in any race. No marathon, no half marathon, no 5K, no 10K,
Mm,
nothing.
mm,
Approaching mile 9, the cramps decided to come. I was nervous. Like, but wait, what is going on? Why is that happening, right? And why now? On the day that I felt like I was going to be the best, I was going to do my best. I felt it. I felt it in every core of my being.
mm,
I know I was going to do better. I trained to do better, right? And the cramps came and the bubbles came.
mm,
The swelling came on the inside of the first swelling came on the inside of my right knee, right? I spread it with all the salon passes that I could find. It did not help.
mm,
And then the other one came on the other side. When the other one came, I'm still approaching mile 9 now.
mm-hmm.
And the other one came. I was done. I couldn't move.
Yeah.
That's what I called you.
I remember you called me during
My
the race.
legs, yes, my legs were not functioning. I could not move my leg. I rested on a fence. I
Mm,
could not go any further.
mm,
And then so then there was this runner. We used to encourage each other along from mile 1 up to where he met up with me at mile 9. When he would stop, I said, "Let's go, brother, let's go," and then he would do the same with me. "Let's go, sis," that kind of
mm,
thing. When he saw me on that fence, he asked me what was wrong, and I told him, and he massaged that thing. That thing did
oh,
not go down now. And said, "Okay, well, I heard that you should run on it so the salon pass, whatever spray it is, could work." I
right.
tried that. Oh my God. This thing just could not let up. But after I spoke to you and you said, "Well, Pammy, crawl if you have to." I'm like, okay, but this is me though. I know I'm not gonna give up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna. all if I have to, but I'm gonna cross that finish line.
Yeah.
That was my worst marathon time ever. You would think New York City was the worst, or should be the worst. But Tokyo was the worst. I have yet to be able to enjoy. You see this medal. I have yet to be able to enjoy it. I have it behind. I have it behind everything because every time I look at it, I'm disappointed.
Wow.
And that's why I'm going back to Tokyo because I have to prove to myself and to Tokyo that this trip, even if it's by 1 minute, I will do better.
Yeah.
I intend to do better.
Yeah.
There's no way that I could do worse than last year. I mean, this year in Tokyo. It's impossible. I mean, nothing is impossible. No, this one is impossible. This one crushed me.
Yeah.
So much so that I was depressed. Oh, yeah. Since then.
Well, listen, I know you remember how I looked after the 50th anniversary of NYCC after that race when I cramped up. And I remember sitting with you at Whole Foods. We sat together and you looked at me and I looked miserable because I also cramped up. And I know why I cramped up. I talked about it, I think, on the last show or 2 shows ago about caffeine and whatever else. So again, listeners, don't do what you usually do. Nothing new on race day, right? But yeah, I remember talking to you and you saw how miserable I was and how disappointed I was. And we've had people on the show talk about marathons and running and races and just the joy of doing it and being happy that you finished it and just that being it, right. And that's definitely one part, right? We're all happy that we can go out there and finish these things. That's great. But yes, on the other hand, there is this deep down feeling that does happen when you know that you did all you were supposed to do to train for these. And whatever happens, the day comes. And even though it's one day, right? The day comes and things don't pan out as you plan. And I gotta say to you, the same way that you said to me, you encouraged me at that Whole Foods that night. You encouraged me. You said you're gonna be fine. Get back out there. And literally the next year, I PR'd by about 18 minutes. Right.
Yes.
So I think the take home lesson like you're talking about is you finished Tokyo. You got your medal. It was fun. You're not completely sad about it because it was great that you did it. But you already know that 2025 is your redemption tour.
Yes.
That's going to be your tour to go out there and, like you said, show the world and show us what you can really do. So I'm excited for you. And
thank you.
I'm just curious what you think happened. Like, what do you think may have happened on that day that did not allow you to run as well as you hoped you'd run?
I may be wrong, but I know you guys always tell us don't try anything new. Don't do anything that you have not done before. My new thing for this race is I have 2 new things. Never fueled in any marathon before.
Interesting.
I just drink water and I'm good.
Yeah.
And all these marathons we found fueling. But for this one, I changed it.
Yeah.
So, I say every 3 miles you take this.
Yeah.
You take this one and you take that one. I'm like, okay. I mean, I trained a little, about 2 training runs with the fuels. And I thought that would be good. But I believe number 1. Number 2. I never stretched. I never stretched before a race. And the night before, I stretched for a long time.
Oh,
The morning I woke up, I stretched even more.
interesting.
At the starting line, I stretched even more. I mean, to warm up, to warm up and all that stuff. I'm like, this must be what happened because I've never done these 2 things before. And why? Why did I do it? I know people encourage you to fuel and to stretch and to and to warm up and do all these things, but I believe deep down in my gut,
Hmm.
I believe that's what happened. And
That's
so that's what
interesting.
caused it.
That's interesting. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you're saying two things that, like you've mentioned, we're taught to do, right? We're taught to fuel properly for races. We're taught to do stretching, not overstretching, but some kind of dynamic stretching before you actually go out there and do whatever. But because you
Mm-hmm.
hadn't done those things before, it seemed like your body was like, what is this? What's happening?
That's it.
And yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's the same concept about not trying anything new on race day, even if it is something that people say is for your benefit, not trying
Mm-hmm.
it for the first time during race day. So I understand that. And I also understand the not pressure per se, but the I guess it is pressure. The pressure to
Mm-hmm.
do everything you can to make sure that this day is going to be perfect because you train for this thing, right?
Right.
16 weeks, 18
Mm-hmm.
weeks. It's becoming up for a marathon cycle already. You've been training this thing for a long time. And then you think about all the investment, especially for you, because you were solo. Like when I went to Berlin
Right.
solo, right? You're by
Mm-hmm.
yourself. You took a plane, you did
Mm-hmm.
hotel, you did all these things just for you. So you want to make
Yes.
sure that you're not going to waste your time out there
Mm-hmm.
not doing or putting your best foot forward. And then for this to happen, which is something that's kind of out of your control because that's your body's response to what's happening. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
understand exactly how you felt, why you felt, because I felt that same way in New York. So I get it. And I'm excited for your redemption tour, and I'm excited to actually do it with you
Yes.
because
No
now you'll have
fueling for me.
now
Mm-mm.
you'll have us by your side, behind you, and in
Yes.
front of you all the way to
Mm-hmm.
to redeem the Tokyo streets. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward
Yeah,
to that.
that's exciting.
Looking forward to
Mm-hmm.
that. Pammy, just so the listeners know, you our Spartan running crew, we run on Sundays. We also do a number of different things throughout the year in terms of speed work and strength conditioning at my job in the winter time and whatever else. So it can
Mm-hmm.
be a lot, right? It can be a lot. And I know for you, someone who, does work, right? You work and you do things on your own, the same way I work and do things on my own. Finding time to train and finding time to find that work-life balance can be difficult. I ask everybody who does these
Mm-hmm.
things because it's always good to hear other perspectives. How do you manage this work-life, fitness life balance? What do you do to make sure that you're putting in the time and energy to be successful during 9 to 5 or whatever that work time is for you, and also find time to
Mm-hmm.
do these long runs and to stay fit and to train for these marathons?
I'm an early runner. Everybody who knows me knows that. Get up at 4, go do my run, back home, shower, take a nap, go to work, to work, go to a workout class. Off on Fridays, I do my long run on Fridays, my longer run on Fridays, and I run with Spartan Sundays on Sundays when we have our races. That works for me. I know people like to run, oh, when the sun is up. I cannot function when
Mm,
the sun is up. I've told you that before.
yeah.
Um, the air to me is purer in the morning, and I feel like I have a better way, an easier way to communicate to God, with God, when
Mm,
I'm on my early morning runs. There's no honking of horns, no hustle and bustle with people. I mean, trying to dodge people, while running. And so that works for me. I don't know what works. I mean, other things work for other people, but for me, the early morning run works for me best. And well, now I'm not working, and so I can go out every morning to run. This week, I think I've done too much this week.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Like, this morning, my intent was to go out and walk with the people I usually meet up with. I got out there, it was so cool. The air was so pure. There was no humidity. And I ran instead.
mm-hmm.
I should not have done that because, I mean, Sunday we have a race and every muscle in my body is tight. But I just felt like I needed to do that run. And of course, when I do have a chance, I come to your workout class. Yo, I must say, I really do not like it's a confession because You're brutal, man. Oh man. After half an hour, I feel like I should just give up with working out with you. But I do it because I have to support my guy. How can I not? And of course, I want to be a part of the team. I try to be there. Whenever the club has something going on,
Yeah.
I try my best to be a part of it. If I'm not there, it has to be for something I have no control over. But as much as possible, whenever Spartan Sundays have something going on, I have to be there.
Yeah, yeah, and that's great. And I support that. I agree with you wholeheartedly on those things. I think the beauty of running early is, like you said, you're out there and you own the streets. I also run in the morning early. I haven't done so much this time because I'm not training for anything in particular. So I've been waking up a little later doing my runs, but
Mm-hmm.
during marathon season, yeah, I'm up early getting those miles in. And yes, there is a beauty being on the road with nobody else before the sun comes up, with the streets closed. There's
Mm-hmm.
a serenity to it. And for me, you mentioned being closer to God. It's so funny. Most of the things that I've written in my book, my first book, and even my second book, which is coming out in the fall, all the
Mm-hmm.
thoughts came to me during those runs when it was just quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me.
Yep.
It was just God, whatever you believe in. For those who are me listening, for me it's God. For Pammy it is. But those were the
Mm-hmm.
times where I just felt most connected, and
Mm-hmm.
so many inspiring thoughts came to me and continue to come to me on those runs. I don't run with
Right.
any music, so I'm usually out there just in
Mm-hmm.
my own thoughts. But so many
Mm-hmm.
so many thoughts for my first book, the second book, and even things that I've said during things at church. At our church we have to do certain talks or certain topics or certain motivational whatevers. Most of those things
Mm-hmm.
for me have come during those runs,
Wow.
and some of them are inspired by people I'm seeing on the road or things that I'm watching in nature or
Mm-hmm.
just thoughts that kind of come, and they're all related to, like we talked about earlier, overcoming obstacles and
Right.
what it takes to do that thing and some of the challenges that comes with that. But yeah, I think that's the best time to do it. And for those who
Yes,
meditate or into
indeed.
whatever, I think that's the best time.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you on that. Listen, Pammy, I've asked everybody on the show what they're trying to do more or be more in 2024. And this is a big year for a lot of people who are just trying to go out there and do great. I know 2025 is your big year to go out there and redeem the Tokyo Marathon,
Mm-hmm.
but what have you done or trying to do to be more in this year, 2024?
I haven't done much this year since Tokyo, like I told you. I cried a lot.
Mm,
I think just a few persons know that. Tokyo did something to me that I've never experienced before. They said the depression was great.
mm,
It was a lot. I couldn't deal. I couldn't go out and run. I didn't want to go out and run. I didn't want to go out and walk.
mm,
I walked because I had to. You know, I think it was last month. They're doing a few runs, nothing long, just shot. Um, 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks ago, I spoke to myself and I said, it's time to get out of this hole. This hole is too dark. Um, and so I started doing a few longer runs, right? And doing the runs with the long runs with Spartan Sundays, like we do our long runs on Sundays.
mm,
And I think I'm getting back into a healthier place.
mm,
I was not healthy at all, I'm
mm,
telling
mm,
you. I, I don't know why I allowed the race to do that to me, but it did. You would think something else would do it, like somebody hurting you, a family member passing, or that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But the marathon did that. I'm like,
Mm,
I just could not deal with it. I mean, who would be able to relate to that? Somebody could relate if you lost a family member, a loved one.
Right.
But who can relate if you're depressed over a race? Everybody's like,
Mhm.
oh, just like you said earlier. I mean, you have your medal, right? You finished, right? Then that should be it. I'm like, no, it cannot be.
Mm,
Should not be.
mm,
And so I have not done anything more this year.
mm.
And Tokyo happened in March.
Yeah, March of this year, right?
And yeah, and so I'm hoping that I could do something more. I don't know what yet, but the mere fact that I've already started going out to run again to
Mhm.
me is more because there was a lot less before.
Mm,
Um, just want to build on that, so that I could get stronger
yeah,
and healthier.
yeah,
The healthier is the number one for me because not there yet. I'm not there yet. I
yeah,
really am not. So that's where I'm
yeah.
at.
I mean, that's real talk, Pam. I
Mm,
think a lot of us use fitness as a medium to help those things, right? Mental health, physical health, spiritual health, emotional health. But sometimes when we're not up to our potential, it can plague us a little bit. Even my daughter sometimes is like, Daddy, when you don't run, when you don't work out, you're different. I'm like, what do you mean I'm different? What are you saying? She's like, oh, your energy is different. You're not as happy
Aw.
at home, So no, there is a
Um,
certain connection that we do have to using our bodies to our utmost potential, especially when you know what you can do and you know the amount of pressure, no, the amount of time you put into
mhm.
that craft, right? And then
Right.
by to not function or perform up to its potential. I understand that.
Mhm.
And the fact that it took you
Mm,
4 months to get out of that rut, that hole,
mhm.
I think it speaks volumes to your commitment to fitness and your commitment to pushing yourself. But I also think
Mm,
that your ability to come out of that also speaks to the unstoppable Pam that we talked about earlier.
mm,
And your, even though it
mm.
took about 4 months to get out of that hole,
Ah,
wasn't going to be the thing that's
I'm
going to
still
stop
getting
you.
out.
I know you're still getting out, but
Yeah.
for me, it's those who say, you know what, I'm not getting out.
Mm,
That's the problem. But for you to say I'm getting out slowly, and to see yourself getting more involved and doing other things, it lets me know that you are unstoppable, and nothing's gonna
mm.
really hold you back. And I look forward to 2025 Tokyo to be, if not your best race, clearly better than it was last year. It's
Yes.
inevitable. It has to be. It has to
Mm-hmm.
be. So.
Has
Pammy,
to be.
any final thoughts you want to share with the listeners about Spartan Sunday Run Club, about you, about being unstoppable? Any charges you want to give to those who are listening, or again for those who are looking for inspiration to go out there and just be more fit? Maybe they're in the same situation you're in, where they don't feel like they're in the right mental space, but they're looking for
Mm-hmm.
some kind of a push to hop back onto the wagon. Any thoughts you want to share as we close out?
Okay. Spartan Sundays Club. That's the best club ever. It's not because it's a club. It's family. Um, you feel loved. You feel like you belong. You may not feel that way at home or at work, but with Spartan Sundays, I mean, and I'm being 1,000% honest there. You feel like family whenever you step foot in there. So I would say that if you are feeling left out in any way, be it family or love or fitness, whatever it may be, um, you can just reach out to Spartan Sundays. I would encourage you to be part of Spartan Sundays because I feel like it's the best place to be, or the best start, if anything. Just start there and see where it takes you, because you will not be disappointed. I promise you that. It's just the best place to be.
Mm,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome.
Mm.
Tammy, we love you so much. I love you so much, and
I love you too, boo.
thank you for making the time to be on the show today. You've made this one for the books, and I'm
Mm.
excited to join you with our Spartan Sunday crew in Tokyo next year. So
Yes.
we
Oh,
got some work
thank
to
you.
do before that. We got some work to do before
Lots
that.
of work.
Lots of
Lots of
work,
work.
lots of work. But
Yes.
we will enjoy the
Yeah.
process, and I charge you to continue to be unstoppable as you always have been. And Thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sean. I call you Sean today. Thank you, bro.
No problem, Coach.
All right, bye.
You heard her. She said so many poignant things. She said so many great things. And again, gave you a real charge to go out there and to be unstoppable. I charge you to go out there and, like our quote says, striving for success without hard work is like trying to harvest where you haven't planted. Pammy's been putting in a lot of hard work and has been striving for success. As someone who was not into athletics when she was younger, this is someone who jumped into it at a later time and has taking great strides and great pride in taking her health
Yes.
seriously, not just talking about it, but really being about it. So go out there, be inspired by her story, and let's all continue to be more in 2024. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Yeah. All right. Well.